Alright, part two, fam, part two. So when you're looking at it in that term, I mean, that's the way I view these videos. I go on YouTube. I don't go on YouTube taking everybody for their word because you can't take everybody for their word. There's a lot of people out there pointing out, Masonic signs, Satanistic signs, um, stuff like that. They, that's all they know. They know how to look at signs and they can see that stuff. Okay, that's cool. All right. It's giving you a heads up on the people that committed spiritual prostitution. To take a phrase from New Cool Ministries. I thought that was really good. Spiritual prostitution, selling your soul to the devil is spiritual prostitution. I lived in that house, like I said, almost 6 years, almost on a nightly basis. I was getting my ass kicked. But after a while, I was taught how to fight back. And I was taught from God. He was showing me things. He was doing things for me. Okay. And this is why I tell people when you ask God to do things for you, you got to pay attention to what's being done. You know what I'm saying? It's like your child. You can show your child how to do stuff, but you expect them to pay attention to what you're actually doing so they can do it for themselves. And that was my belief on it. That's the way I looked at it. I got to pay attention to what God's doing in my life. So that when this does come up, I got to handle this myself. Okay? It's not that I'm taking away God's divine intervention, so to speak. He comes in and he helps me with this stuff. So I got to learn how to do all this stuff myself. But as I'm doing it myself, I'm being filled with hate, getting ridiculed at school, being filled with hate. There was one time um, after I had moved from that house, I was getting into school fights a lot, a lot, and I've had people ask me how many fights you've been in, and seriously, literally over 2,000 fights I've been in. And people would laugh at me, and my dad would look at him, and he'd be like, "He's telling you the truth." I fought almost everybody in my high school. I was in fifth, sixth grade fighting juniors and seniors and kicking their ass. And people couldn't get over how I was doing this. Now, again, I'm not trying to build myself up. I'm not bragging about nothing. This is my life. This is what I went through. I've had 200, 250 people, basically my whole school, dude, from 6th grade to 12th grade, in my front yard. They all wanted to fight me at the same time. And when my dad told him, look, he'll fight every single one of you one on one, the first person stepped over. Nobody stepped up. Nobody wanted to fight me one on one, but they all wanted to fight me together. Okay, and that's where I kind of learned. You shut the big guy up, and everybody else runs away. That's what I learned. But I'm not trying to get on here acting like a tough guy. I'm not trying to get on here acting like I know everything and I'm just, whatever. Okay? But I've been through a lot of stuff in my life. So these demons, they suck out your soul. You know what I'm saying? They suck your energy out, your essence out. And they want to take it over. At that time, again, I'm like 7 years old. I don't understand that. I had no clue. I don't understand what's going on, man. I don't know. All I know is what's happening to me. So as this is happening to me, I'm learning on the fly. Like I said, I got my ass handed to me several times, got busted up, and that's when it was like, dude, if I can handle an ass beating from a demon, there's nothing a human can do to me. That's just the way I see it. Because demons are in the spiritual realm, humans are in the physical realm. And that's where a lot of people get messed up. That's where a lot of these YouTube videos are getting messed up. They're trying to put everything in the materialistic realm and the things that you can touch and feel and whatever. You know, this is in the materialistic realm. This is all materialistic. You go into the spiritual side of things and you see it in a whole different light. There's nothing like what we're viewing. And the kind of point of this video and why I made it so long is you guys really need to understand what it is that is coming. You got a lot of these people on YouTube talking about demons. And like I said, they have no clue what they're talking about. So many times I wanted to get on there and say, hey, dude, invite me to have a little YouTube conversation with you. You know, I'll get on your channel. I'll talk to you. I'll explain all this stuff to you. I've put it out there with all these ghost hunters. You know, when the ghost hunters were big, you know, a few years ago, 10, 15 years ago, whatever it was. And I challenged every single one of them. Zach Bagan or Bogan or something like that. I wrote him personally and I challenged him to come to this house. Paranormal State, the investigators from Penn State University, I challenged them to come to this house. There's several other ones on Facebook and YouTube, stuff like that. I challenged all of them to come to this house. I wanted them to spend one night in that house and tell me that your perception of demons does not change. Now, we moved out of that house. It was, you know, I got my ass handed to me. Hardcore. And like my parents couldn't explain it. My sisters, they didn't know what was going on. They were just scared. I mean, dude, I was bad. And my sisters were afraid to go back in the house, and that's why we moved. It wasn't because I went through almost 6 years of this stuff. It was because my sisters got scared. So the day we moved, I mean, we just packed up. We didn't get a U-Haul or nothing like that. We just took everything that we needed to get by for a couple weeks and take it over to our new place. So we loaded up both of our vehicles and we just moved. My dad and I went back over probably like 3 weeks later to get the rest of the stuff. We were just like, you know, we're going to pack some stuff up. And we walked into the house and it looked like a tornado went through the inside of that house. All the cabinets, you know, the countertops, cabinets up on the walls, the countertops, the sink, baby grand piano. Everything was in pieces on the floor. And the only way you could tell that we had a baby grand piano in that house was because you could see the keys, the 88 keys, all over the living room. Or the dining room. Sorry, the dining room. It was just, my dad and I were just standing there like, what happened? So we go over and ask the neighbor, and they're like, no, we don't know. We don't know. We saw your brother over there in his Trans Am. He didn't stay long. I mean, he was there maybe 10, 15 minutes, and he left in a hurry. So for a few years, I was back and forth of, the demons did this, and then maybe my uncle did this with a sledgehammer, and maybe, maybe the demons did it, maybe my uncle did it. And years later, somebody buys the house, and they started to remodel the whole house. They were remodeling inside and out. They got all new cabinets, everything all up in there. And they went out to dinner because I guess it was like the night that they were going to move in, or the night before they were going to move in, something like that, officially move into a redone house. They go out to dinner, they come back, and it was the same thing. Everything in that house was on the floor in pieces, just shards. I mean, they couldn't glue anything back together if they tried. Everything was in pieces. They went out, bought a mobile home, and parked it on the other side of the driveway across from the house. They won't go back in there. So to this very day, nobody lives in that house. The owners will not allow anyone to go in that house because they know. So I want to invite everybody to get right with God, get Jesus in your life. Okay? Get him in your life, because what we're about to be experiencing, you guys have never, ever, ever seen anything like this. All these fake YouTubers on here talking about all these demon videos and all these, they don't know. They have no clue. They have no clue. And I wish these people would stop putting it out there like that, like they know. Okay? I just showed you the closest rendition. And I've been telling a lot of people that either the movie producer or JK or whoever it was, they have personal knowledge of demons. They know what they are. They know what they look like. But they've humanized them just a little bit. All right? They are pure black. Pure evil. And there's, a couple hundred of them coming? I mean, they're here. They're here. They're here. But they're just going to come out in full force here pretty soon. So, you guys need to get on the spiritual side of life. Get out of the materialistic side. Get out of the worldly side. And get into the spiritual side. Alright? That's what I'm asking all my brothers and sisters. Please. Because you guys really, really are underestimating what's coming to fruition. These prophecies, man, they're all coming, and they're coming fast. They're coming, and they're coming fast. You guys need to act faster. Okay? Look, man. Look, guys. Get with Jesus. Get him in your life. Dwell in him, and he will dwell in you. He will show you truth. He is truth. Alright? This is just a little bit of food for thought, guys. Peace and love, guys. Peace and love. Don't believe everything that's on YouTube. I mean, this is my experience. I'm not saying take my word for it, but it's my experience. Research. And get with God. Ask him to show you truth. Peace and love, guys.